So here's a new one from BESTARD. It's from their fast forward range. It tends to have a slightly longer toe box, from what I can tell, compared to the others. So there's less chance of jamming your toes in there. It's well laced up at the moment. So yeah, I mean obviously when you lace it up it has a sort of different shape to it. But as far as sizing concerns, it just seems to be a little bit longer in the toe box from the other last that they use. The last is something that they use to mould their boot onto when they manufacture it. So if that explains anything for you that might be interested in. Anyway, Vibram for a sole. It's a classic, probably the most manufactured sole that's ever been created. It's a good all-rounder. EVA, so you know you won't be suffering from dry rot or hydrolysis. You can look forward to long use out of the boot. They are resolable, of course. All our models, well, most of them we get in. All the best ones we have resolable, and once again they've gone for pooing leather. Yeah, which is the great choice. So it doesn't tend to crack like the other ones. It's a reverse leather, so that seems to help it from risk of cracking. You know, mainly in the sort of flexing areas there, which happens with our high users. So this boot is aimed for trampers, hunters, you know, in the bush could get away with it. It's not a truly sort of subalpine one, you know, where you could get a lot of abrasion from the vegetation on the sewing. You know, we've got our other ones that have no sewing in there, and that's particularly aimed for them. But the advantage of this one is particularly light. The leather's a little bit thinner, and also it uses textile in here as well, so that's you know, a weight reduction. It also helps with drainage and also drying as well. And you know, drying is something you really want to consider when you're buying a boot, and this one actually improves it because it's got a bit of venting here, but it also got these proprietary large vents here, and you know, the more airflow you can get, the faster the drying you'll have. It's just simple. So you know, the more vent you can get, the faster the drying. And so that, coupled that with the cambrel cuff here, which is vented as well. So this is made for, as far as, well, technically, I mean, there wouldn't be anything out there with an all leather upper like this that would have the ability to dry as fast as this boot can. And it remain lighter, because when you put water onto a boot it gets heavy, you know, you've got to take that into consideration. So ortholite insole here, so that moulds to the rear's foot shape, and yeah, just typical BESTARD design. So underneath the liner there you've got the composite shank, which is another reason for making this light. Honestly, I'd probably, I'd like to wear this as one of my next boots just to see how it goes. So, well, I know how it's going to go. It's going to be ideal, really. Yeah. So good off-trail grip is the thing with that sole. And lightness. It has reasonable flexibility. It would be semi-rigid rigidity. And like I've said often enough in this video, that it's a super light boot, and coupled with its fast drying, even when it does get wet it will remain light, and that's a very important feature, especially when you're looking at a wilderness boot.